Story named The Last House on Bailey Road. Round Pushpin location, Vermont, USA. October 2016. In the quiet little town of Newfane, Vermont, just before the first snow of the season, there stood an old wooden house at the very end of Bailey Road. Built around the 1920s, it had been abandoned for the last 25 years. New residents. Jessica and her husband James bought the house for an incredibly low price, hoping to escape the chaos of city life and settle into peace and quiet. The locals, however, had warned them, that house isn't right. The ones who lived there before never lasted long. But Jessica and James dismissed it as rural superstition. A strange beginning. The first week went by mostly fine, but from the second week, things started to change. At night, Jessica would hear soft scratching sounds coming from the kitchen. James kept noticing the garage light turning on and off by itself. Their pet dog, Milo, would often wake up at 3 a.m. and growl at the wall, as if he was staring at something invisible. The old papers. One afternoon, while cleaning the basement, Jessica found an old wooden box. Inside were several handwritten letters, dated back to 1982. One of them read, "I know you see them. I see them too, but no one believes us. The girl came again last night, standing in the doorway, smiling but her eyes, only darkness." With trembling hands, Jessica closed the box and hurried out of the basement. James starts to change. By the third week, James had changed completely. He barely spoke. He spent hours staring out the window with a blank expression. Sometimes at night, he would just get up and stand in the dark, not blinking. One night, Jessica asked him, "Are you okay?" James slowly turned his head and whispered, "They want me now." The night it happened, at around 3 a.m. one night, Jessica suddenly woke up. Their dog was hiding under bed, shaking, and the bedroom window had opened on its own. She went downstairs and found James sitting alone in the garage, in complete darkness, his shoulders twitching. As she got closer, she realized James was laughing, but his eyes, they weren't blinking, just staring into nothingness. She cried and said, "Let's go to the hospital, please." James slowly whispered, "You don't understand. This house isn't just for living. It feeds. They don't want my body. They want the light inside me." Morning, police arrives. The next morning, neighbors called 911. When police arrived, the front door was locked from the inside, but no one was home. James was missing. Jessica was found unconscious in the basement, her body covered in long scratch marks, as if something had clawed at her. When she finally regained consciousness, she said only one thing: "They came through the window. They weren't just shadows. They knew where I'd hide when I got scared." What happened after? Since then, the house has remained empty again. James was never found. The police called it a standard missing persons case. But the people of Newfane still believe the last house on Bailey Road doesn't just let people in, it keeps them. An old woman once said, "If you ever see a shadow in the window at night, know this: they're still there, and they already know your name."